All the way through the evening, your expert summariser, former Iron striker Steve Torpe, and your match commentator is Ollie Turner.
Thank you very much, Mike. Scunthorpe United looking for a 6th consecutive home win for the first time since August 2016. That was across 2 campaigns, the 2015-16 and 2016-17 seasons. Thank you to Iron Stats for that one in tonight's match day programme. And the opposition that they'll have to beat to achieve that feat this evening is Southport. The Iron will be attacking from left to right in this first half, from where we're sat at the back of the West Stand in their claret shirts with blue shorts, claret shorts and socks. Southport in the old gold with black stripes on the front, black shorts and socks. Our referee this evening is Louis Griffiths, another who it is their first season refereeing in the 6th tier of English football. He's given out 13 yellow cards and 1 red in his 6 games so far this season in the National League North. And we are underway then, as you can hear, Hi-Ho Silver Lining ringing out here at Glanford Park. Full match commentary of Scunthorpe United against Southport in the National League North on BBC Radio Humberside with me, Ollie Turner, and former Iron striker Steve Torpe. We'll go through the 2 teams in a moment as Jack Doyle tries to shepherd the ball out of play for a goal kick, and he's achieved that. So the Iron team, 3 changes: Will Evans suspended, Michael Kelly injured, Callum Roberts on the bench. Those 3 replaced by Andrew Boyce, Tyler Denton and Jason Law. So the team in full: Ross Fitzsimons is the goalkeeper. The back 4 from left to right: Tyler Denton, Andrew Boyce, Maxime Coogan and Ross Barrows. In midfield, it's Kean Scales, Michael Clunan, the captain, and Jacob Butterfield, with Connor Smith over on the far left-hand side, Jason Law on the right, with Danny Whitehall up front. On the bench for the Iron: Danny Elliott, Callum Roberts, Cameron Wilson, Finlay Shrimpton and Jack Jenkins, who is back in this evening's matchday squad. Scunthorpe United have a throw at the moment. We'll go through the Southport team. They've been hampered by injuries in recent weeks, and obviously have Richie Bennett and Marcus Carver unavailable for this game as well, due to their ineligibility to face their parent club. Andrew Boyce with it, poor ball forward. He's only managed to pick out Finlay Heath for the opposition. Can't escape the clutches of Michael Clunan though, and Scunthorpe United have the ball back just behind the halfway line here down the right, with Jason Law back into the starting lineup, having been only on the bench for the win here over Darlington in the FA Trophy. Back into the Iron defence now, to the left with Tyler Denton, returns having been rested at the weekend as well. And it's back with Andrew Boyce, resumes his place in the central part of defence due to that suspension to Will Evans, picking up 5 yellow cards in the league already this season before the cut-off point. Denton digs the pass back to Andrew Boyce and then receives the ball again. Was closed down quickly by Southport. Then it's looped over the top down the left-hand side, cut out by Harry Flowers, who hammers it forward. Brad Holmes can't bring it down for the opposition, and it's back with Ross Fitzsimons in that grey long-sleeved goalkeeping shirt with the black shorts and socks. Now Coogan to Barrows on the right-hand touch line. Had Noel Watson closing in, but got the pass away down the line. And it's Danny Whitehall who's fouled by Declan Evans. Scunthorpe United free kick. Just quickly, that Southport team. In come Harry Flowers, Finlay Heath and Brad Holmes. Dropping out Richie Bennett out of the squad due to not being able to face his parent club. Adam Anson is on the bench. Jack Bainbridge out the squad entirely. I'll get Steve Torpe's thoughts on how they're lining up, but a bit of a lottery with the injuries. But Chris Renshaw, the goalkeeper, I'll just break off as he's got some work to do from his Scunthorpe United free kick. It's looped towards the back post. Renshaw is there to punch it away, only as far as Connor Smith, who floats it back into the box, and Renshaw will watch it bounce behind. The Southport defence is Jack Doyle, Harry Flowers, Declan Evans and Matthew Thompson. David Morgan, the captain, will be shielding that defence. Josh Amami and Finlay Heath are the 2 other central midfielders, with Mikey O'Neill and Noel Watson supporting Brad Holmes in attack. On the bench for Southport, Adam Anson, Tony McMillan, the sub-goalkeeper, Keenan Quanser, Sam Billington and Luke Kilcullen, as Chris Renshaw's goal kick goes straight out for a throw. Steve Torpe, your thoughts on the opening just shy of 4 minutes so far?
Yeah, a lot of turnover in possession. A sloppy goal kick there from Fitzsimons, gone out of play. But yeah, quite a scruffy first 4 or 5 minutes. Southport playing 4-4-2, so they've not changed their formation. They've stick with what they've been playing more recently, even though the personnel has changed. So hopefully can get a little bit more quality than the opening 5 minutes.
Danny Whitehall can't win the header. It's Declan Evans who scored from the penalty spot in Southport's 4-0 win over South Shields in the FA Trophy at the weekend. The second time they beat them in the same number of weeks, having won 1-0 in the National League North. The ball's marshalled back to Andrew Boyce, who clears away from defence, but Southport have it back in midfield with Morgan, who returned to the club in the summer, having been released by Accrington Stanley. Here's Evans, and then Doyle. And it's back to Chris Renshaw now in that green goalkeeping kit. Clears away, but it's blocked by Danny Whitehall. Unfortunately for the Southport shot stopper, the ball balloons behind for a goal kick to the visitors.
Great closing down from Whitehall there. Yeah, just had half a sniff. He's blocked the chance, and that could have ricocheted back in the back of the net. Luckily for Southport, it's just gone wide of the goal.
5 minutes gone on BBC Radio Humberside. Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0. On all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies. If you need to go out and about tonight, we are on BBC Sounds as well, online and via the app. The Southport goal kick is headed up into the air by Maxime Coogan. The visitors try and bring it down through Josh Hamami. Tyler Denton is there to hack away the clearance. Straight out of play for a Southport throw. Matthew Thompson is going to take it in the starting lineup tonight, despite having broken his nose at the weekend. And he will hurl the ball down the line. Goes past Brad Holmes. It's eventually brought down by Hamami, and Southport have got it back with Mikey O'Neill. Back to David Morgan, but the visitors give possession away. Smith skips past Morgan on the halfway line, tries to find Whitehall with the pass. It's thumped clear by Southport, and Scunthorpe United are onto the second ball. Nice pass with the instep of the right foot from Coogan. And then Barrows skips past his man into the centre circle. Scunthorpe United can't keep the ball though. And here's Niall Watson, son of the former Southport manager Liam Watson. Still going over on the far side, trying to drift between a couple of iron players, but Tyler Denton cuts it out. And here's Jacob Butterfield, midway inside his own half. In now to Jason Law. Over the halfway line he goes, down the right-hand side, trying to attack Jack Doyle. Comes back infield, it's a slightly loose pass, but Cian Scales retrieves the ball and keeps possession for the hosts. It's sent wide to the left this time with Connor Smith. Denton makes an overlapping run, but it's prodded into Cian Scales. Now Michael Clunan, just outside of the centre circle. Across to Jacob Butterfield, right of centre, dinked over the top. Chested into the penalty area by Ross Barrows. Can't take it past his man, Jack Doyle. And Southport do well there to play themselves in a composed fashion out from their own penalty area. Chested down by the Blackpool loanee Holmes. Coogan gets the final touch. It's a Southport throw.
Yeah, it's a high tempo, a lot of, like I say, in and out of possession from both teams. Lack a little bit of quality, but they're really compact. Southport are trying to smother the midfield area, central midfield area. So if Scunthorpe can get the ball out wide quickly, then there's opportunities there, I think.
Pumped forward by Andrew Boyce, comes off the back of Declan Evans. It will be recovered by Harry Flowers, who gets the ball back to his goalkeeper Chris Renshaw. That's not a convincing clearance from him, sliced up into the air. And here's Jacob Butterfield for Scunthorpe United. Now Danny Whitehall lays it off to Law. Nice interchange of passing there from Scunthorpe United, and they move it over to the far left-hand flank with Tyler Denton. Chips it back to Cian Scales. Now Michael Clunan, left of centre to Butterfield, on the edge of the centre circle at the moment. Involved in 9 goals in his last 9 games, but Butterfield's lost it. Southport, though, can't keep it, but Mikey O'Neill, the former Grimsby Town loanee, was fouled by Michael Clunan in trying to carve out that attack, and it's a Southport free kick just inside the centre circle. Actually, it's been pulled back by the referee to behind the centre spot, who's now checking on Jacob Butterfield to see if he's okay after he stayed down. And it's, as I say, a free kick for Southport, just a yard or so behind the halfway line, which David Morgan, the captain, will take. Looks up, pings it forward, right-footed, aiming for Watson, who was running around the back. Barrows heads that away. Here's Clunan with it. Spreads it wide to the left with Tyler Denton. Now Connor Smith, just behind the halfway line, being tracked closely by Hamami. Then Butterfield looks up, switches play with that diagonal crossfield ball. It's behind Ross Barrows, though, and out for a Southport throw.
Yeah, I see what he's trying to do, trying to switch play early, which what we said is where they can probably attack Southport, but just a poorly strike. I don't know if he's holding his hip, Butterfield. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but that was from the previous challenge.
Jack Doyle's throw down the right is headed away by Jason Law. The final touch is off the thigh of Declan Evans. As I say that, the referee on this near side has adjudged that final contact with the ball was made by Danny Whitehall, who gives the assistant referee an earful. It's another Southport throw-in on the left, just over the halfway line. Doyle with it again. Holmes with the flick on, despite having his shirt pulled by Law. Doyle nods it back towards the Southport penalty area, brought down here by Holmes, flicks it back to Morgan, does well to twist away from Connor Smith and put the pass into the path of Matthew Thompson, but great sliding tackle there from Cian Scales to win possession back for Scunthorpe United. Now Tyler Denton looks up, goes long with the ball forward. It's brought down excellently by Jacob Butterfield, urged to shoot, does do so, doesn't find the target this time, dribbles wide of the right-hand post, and it's a Southend goal kick.
Probably not the right option on this occasion. I think Smith was just running into the box on the angle. I thought probably a better option was just to slide him in. I think Smith was a bit frustrated there, but you can see why he's had the strike, because he's scored some fantastic goals over recent weeks, Butterfield.
Yeah, if you missed our commentary at the weekend, we were saying that Jacob Butterfield's last 8 goals for Scunthorpe United have all come from outside the area, as there's a long-range effort, long-distance effort this time from range from Josh Hamami, picking up the ball on the half-volley and firing it towards goal, trying to catch Ross Fitzsimons off his goal line, well wide and out for a Scunthorpe United goal kick, which is taken quickly by Andrew Boyce. Flicks it back to his goalkeeper, Ross Fitzsimons, who slowly dribbles it towards the edge of the penalty area. 1-2 between him and Boyce, and now Fitzsimons, closed down by Holmes, has to go long left-footed. Whitehall wins the header on this occasion, but it's brought under control by Watson. Goes across the halfway line to Hamami, and Southport do well to keep the ball there. Back to Jack Doyle now, currently Southport's longest-serving player. Long forward to Mikey O'Neill, holds it up away from Coogan. Now Watson trying to get the better of Barrows down the left, gets the cross in towards the near post, and Fitzsimons claims it well ahead of Brad Holmes before volleying it forward, drags it along the Glanford Park surface, but finds Smith, who now plays in Cian Scales. Room to run into down the left-hand side. Into the penalty area he goes, tries to drive it across towards the 6-yard area. No one there in a claret and blue shirt to meet it, and eventually Jack Doyle is forced to clear by the corner flag. Back to Morgan, who volleys it into space down the left. Watson's not going to get there, and it's a Scunthorpe United throw.
Yeah, another great goal kick from Fitzsimons. That's what they've got to do. They can't let Southport get set and get back into their shape. Fantastic kick, and just unlucky not to get on the end of that.
Barrows with the throw then. Short to Butterfield, and then the Scunthorpe United right back receives the ball again, plays the percentages by digging it into the ankles of Mikey O'Neill, who, as I said earlier, spent the second half of last season on loan at Grimsby Town from Preston North End, here at Southport on a 3-month loan. And Scunthorpe United are back on the ball with Cian Scales, who carries it over the halfway line, shifts it onto his right foot and gives the ball to Michael Clunan, then gets it back, the Scunthorpe United number 20. Here's Andrew Boyce over to the left-hand touchline now with Connor Smith. Drifts past Matthew Thompson, then gets free of Morgan, but can't keep the ball at his feet. Southport recover possession, and it's a nice first-time pass into Niall Watson. Just uses the back of his heel to keep the ball away from Ross Barrows. Still here, Niall Watson down the left-hand side, trying to again find room away from Barrows to deliver the cross. Drives it towards the penalty area. It's blocked by Barrows. Out for a throw on the left, just about level with the 6-yard area.
Good defender from Barrows. He's stopped the cross. The previous one, he let him get it in too early. So throwing down here on Scunthorpe's right-hand side.
Jack Doyle to take the throw in again, the former Blackburn Rovers youngster, gesturing for players to push their way towards the edge of the penalty area and then go short into O'Neill. He can't keep the ball. It's back with Heath now, who weirdly has the back of his shirt tucked in, but not the front. First time I've seen that. Renshaw pushes his teammates up the pitch. He's just outside of his own penalty area at the moment, is Renshaw. Hacks it forward, left-footed, over the top of Brad Holmes, who got a whisker of a touch on that off the top of his head, but it runs straight through to Fitzsimons. And Scunthorpe United will start from the back with Tyler Denton. Back to Andrew Boyce. And across the fence it goes to Maxime Coogan, the right-sided centre-half. And it's sent to the right-hand side again with Barrows. Down the line for Law to hold up away from Doyle. Looped forward to Whitehall. Declan Evans is there to nod it out of play for another Scunthorpe United throw-in as they edge themselves further up the Glanford Park pitch down the right-hand channel. Barrows' throw to Butterfield. Swivels and then twists the ball into the centre circle here with Kean Scales. Scales moving wide to the left-hand side, then chops back inside onto his right foot. Butterfield now, right of centre, 30 yards from goal. Gives it to Ross Barrows. Jinks inside, but can't beat his man Mikey O'Neill, who tried to let that go out for a throw, but has the ball pinched off of him. It's Watson, actually, who lost the ball there. Southport clear the cross. Scunthorpe United will have to try again. Butterfield into the centre of the park. Now back to Clunan outside of the centre circle. On his right foot, digs the pass to his left to Scales. Now Smith can't get past his marker, and they'll try again. Coogan on the edge of the centre circle to Jason Law, right of centre, a good 40 yards from goal. Smith now into Scales, takes a heavy touch to bring the ball forward, lays it off to Tyler Denton. Cross comes in, Whitehall over the top of his head, and Watson just ducked underneath it to put off Ross Barrows, and now can clear it away left-footed. But the Scunthorpe United pressure growing here, Steve Torpey. Yeah,
they're again sitting really deep in like their defensive third, so they're quite happy for Scunthorpe to have possession, to give up possession. Scunthorpe need to be patient like they did, and that was again unlucky. Decent ball in the box. Just Barrows needs to gamble on that far stick, and I think he could have got on the end of that if he had gambled a little bit earlier.
16 minutes gone here. Deadlock yet to be broken as there's a ball in behind for Brad Holmes to run onto, but that's good goalkeeping from Ross Fitzsimons. Came out of his area quickly. Michael Clunan was being closed in on there by Finlay Heath, but got the pass away. Barrows to Law, spins his man Doyle. Now back to Clunan behind the halfway line. Looks up and weaves the pass wide to the left with Tyler Denton. Now here's Connor Smith. He's going to be double teamed by a couple of Southport players, but it's behind for Tyler Denton to run onto, and then Harry Flowers came across well and smashes it clear right-footed. It is nodded away by Andrew Boyce, but Scunthorpe United lose possession, but Brad Holmes can't keep it, and he's slowly but surely getting slightly more isolated up front at the moment, is Brad Holmes. Coogan to the right with Barrows, aiming for Danny Whitehall, but Finlay Heath mops that up for the visitors. O'Neill back to the captain Morgan, who's taken on a player coach role since joining in the summer. Scunthorpe United win it back though with Law inside to Butterfield, and a chance to sweep forward here for the Scunthorpe United midfielder. Pokes into Connor Smith, into the penalty area goes, onto his right foot, took a deflection on the way through. It's blocked by Flowers. There's shouts that it came off his hand as it dribbled back through to the goalkeeper Chris Renshaw, but our referee this evening, Louis Griffiths, is unmoved. Steve Torpey, your thoughts? Yeah,
I thought it was a penalty. He tried to clear it with his foot. He's ricocheted off his foot onto his hands and just fallen nicely and kind of cleared, or it's gone back into the goalkeeper's hands. But definitely, I don't think it was intentional, but in this day and age, that was definitely a handball from where I was sitting from.
Let us know what you thought of it if you're watching from home. 81333 on the text. Start your message with the letters RH. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Same rule applies. Watson with the cross from the left for Southport over the top of Hamami's head. It will drop to Morgan. He now delivers the cross from the right-hand side, and there is again more confident goalkeeping from Ross Fitzsimons in among a sea of bodies. Plucked it well out of the sky and then rolls it out quickly to put his team on the front foot. Scales into Butterfield, had Holmes behind him but was undeterred by that. Here is the iron midfielder now. gives the pass to Maxime Coogan. Then it's Ross Barrows on the right-hand side. Floated forward. Clunan brings it down with his right shoulder and keeps the ball in play. He's done well there, has the Scunthorpe United skipper. As I say that, the pass back isn't too good, and Southport are back on the ball. It's a long one in behind again. Well dealt with by Maxime Coogan. The flag is up anyway against Brad Holmes, the Blackpool loanee, and it'll be a Scunthorpe United free kick midway inside their own half, right of centre.
Yeah, good line from the defence. Just drifted offside, just bearing into their attacking third, Southport. But you can see Southport's game plan. They're trying to condense that midfield area, play everything down the outside. You can see Southport's body language and the way they're pressing the ball. They're really angling their run, so Scunthorpe have to play it down the channels unless they move it quickly, which at the moment is very few and far between.
The voice of former Scunthorpe United striker Steve Torpey here on BBC Radio Humberside. 20 minutes gone at Glanford Park in this National League North clash. It's still Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0, if you're just listening in. Smashed away by Finlay Heath, who signed permanently in the summer, having been on dual registration from AFC Liverpool. The ball bounces out of play for a throw-in over on the far side in front of the east stand for Southport. It's Matthew Thompson who dries the ball with his shirt before getting ready to take the throw inside his own half at the moment on the right. Takes a step up and lobs it down the line. It's eventually brought down by the chest of Hamami, whipped forward by Morgan into space down that right-hand channel, but it bobbles out of play for a Scunthorpe United throw. And Andrew Boyce will bowl it towards Tyler Denton to take. It's back to Maxime Coogan inside his own penalty area. Now Ross Barrows in front of the touchline here. On the right is Jason Law, still inside his own half at the moment as he jinks inside. Now Butterfield in the centre circle, looks up and sweeps it forward over the top. Law's trying to latch onto it. Good defending there from Declan Evans to get there first and prod it out of play for a Scunthorpe United throw-in in an advanced position down the right-hand side.
Just a little bit of energy from Law. He's looking for the ball in behind instead of feet. And he was unlucky there. He just got a throw on the right-hand side for Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe United throw-in was level at the Southport penalty area. Barrows gets the cross in from the right-hand side in front of the corner flag. It's deflected behind off a Southport player. Looks like Finlay Heath from here. And it's a corner kick, if my memory fails me, the first of the evening, which goes in the Irons' favour. It will be taken from the right-hand side by Jacob Butterfield, although Jason Law has come across to join him, and it's rolled short by Law to Butterfield, trying to catch that Southport defence off guard. Left-footed cross comes in, header away by Southport inside their own 6-yard area, bounces out back to the right-hand side with Jason Law. Can't inch past Jack Doyle, who gets the final touch to put it out for another Scunthorpe United throw-in on the right-hand side. Law's given it away, though, and Watson plays it back to Doyle, who clears, but all 11 Southport players camped inside their own half from that set-piece situation for Scunthorpe United. And here come the iron again. Over on the left with Connor Smith, back to Cian Scales, just in front of the halfway line. Butterfield takes the ball away from Mikey O'Neill, then looks up. Floated forward again. Law's the target. Watson doesn't deal with it. Law in the penalty area, smashed across goal, and Whitehall can't get in front of his man. Falls to Barrows, trying to work for him for the shot. He can't do so. Still going is Barrows. Shoots towards goal. It's blocked, and Southport clear their lines through Doyle, only as far as Butterfield. They'll try again here with the iron. Butterfield goes down theatrically. He's not going to get the free kick for that off of Finlay Heath, and Southport on the counter-attack now with O'Neill. Loose touch from him, but the Sandgrounders keep possession, and then Laws pulled back Heath in frustration, and it's a Southport free kick.
Yeah, quite a lot going on there. I think probably best little opportunity there for Scunthorpe. Good ball in, got across the near post. A bit of hesitation from the Southport defenders, and they just managed to get a block in. And then Butterfield, I think it was a bit of a dive from Butterfield, and then subsequently it's a free kick to Southport in Scunthorpe's half.
Just quickly on that, Clunan speaking to the referee, and he looked at Ross Barrows afterwards. I wonder if they thought Barrows might have just been pulled in the area. It looked so there was a little tug on him.
Yeah, the way his body language was, he did fall on the angle, so definitely a possibility there.
In the meantime, it's the Southport free kick, which David Morgan will take. Into the penalty area it goes. Andrew Boyce with the header away for Scunthorpe United. Who's going to get onto the second ball first? It's Cian Scales, who tried to hook it over the top, essentially trying to run onto his own pass, but he's put it out for a Southport throw. 5 yards in front of the halfway line down the left. Here's Doyle with the throw down the line. Holmes gets a feather of a touch onto that ball with his head, but Southport not able to latch onto it. They'll try again here with Heath. He gives it away, and now Scunthorpe United bodies flooding forward. Dent surges away from Hamami. Now Connor Smith with it. Left of centre, rides the challenge of Hamami. Goes wide to Scales. Back into the Scunthorpe United half now with Andrew Boyce. And across the defence it goes to Maxime Coogan. And it's sent from left to right here with Barrows in front of the right-hand touchline. 25 minutes gone at Glanford Park. Still goalless between Scunthorpe United and Southport in the National League North. Denton takes the ball on the turn. In now to Connor Smith, trying to beat Hamami and Thompson. Again, Southport doubling up on the Hart-Slow knee. Clunan back into the centre circle with Maxime Coogan. Moves the ball onto his right foot. And it's now with Ross Barrows. Behind halfway line it goes again to Coogan, who we'll be hearing more from at half-time here on BBC Radio Humberside. Gives the ball away though, and Southport flying forward down the right-hand side. It's swept infield, brought down well by Brad Holmes. Lays it back to David Morgan. Down the right again they go with Hamami. Crosses in towards the near post. Watson with the flick on. Had he made a better touch there, I think Ross Fitzsimons would have been struggling. Yeah,
it was a good ball in. Probably their best chance of the game so far. Just all it needed was a slight touch. Fitzsimons has already committed. And luckily he failed to make contact, the Southport striker.
Scunthorpe United then survive that scare. Look fairly unmoved by that as they try and carve out an attack here with Connor Smith. I think that's Thompson keeping him for close company there, coming all the way from right back, and that's forced the error from Connor Smith. Southport, you can sense they're getting slightly more confident as Niall Watson invites the foul from Michael Clunan and wins the free kick for the Sandgrounders, left of centre, about 5 yards in front of the halfway line.
Yeah, just a little bit of frustration kicking in now because they're defending really deep and trying to Scunthorpe on the counter, which you would imagine most teams have done that this season. Just need to be patient.
O'Neill gets free of Butterfield onto his right foot, inside the D, doesn't pull the trigger, lays it back to a teammate, shot from Flowers who is up from the back, that's blocked. Southport will try again here with Watson, loses the ball as it bounces off the outside of his right boot, but the Visitors keep possession. Morgan tries to switch play from left to right, comes off the head of Smith, who ducked out of that challenge, and Southport keep possession. O'Neill twists away from Butterfield and then tries to flick it into space for Watson to run onto. That's cut out by Law. And this game opening up somewhat as we head towards the half-hour mark. Smith with the driving ball forward. Flowers comes across, puts it over the top of the east stand. Out of play for a Scunthorpe United throw as a new ball will come into play from the dugout to our right-hand side in the main west stand.
Yeah, there's not been really any real clear-cut chances. A couple of half chances at handball probably 10 minutes ago or so. A Southport handball, which I thought could have been easily given as a penalty. But apart from that, it's been very limited goal-scoring opportunities.
Scunthorpe United on the ball. It's dinked towards the edge of the penalty area by Barrows, and Whitehall gets there first. Flashes in the cross. I think Thompson just got a touch on that at the far post. Had he not, Connor Smith may have got there. Southport now on the attack themselves. Holmes out wide to the right-hand side to Hamami, who comes in field, attempts to switch play, can't pick out Niall Watson, And Scunthorpe United back on the ball as Jack Doyle loses his footing in trying to meet Jason Law. He gets the pass away wide to the left with Connor Smith running at his man Thompson. Now on the edge of the penalty area, into the box on his left foot. Maybe could have got the cross in at the byline, instead pulls it back. Butterfield, short pass inside to Clunan. There are a few odd cries of shoot as Jacob Butterfield picks up the ball from distance. Here he is again, a good 40 yards from goal, looks up on his right foot. Back to Clunan. Now Barrows, right of centre, midway inside Southport territory to Law. What's he going to do here? Drifts onto his right foot, pulls the trigger to get the cross in, put behind by Doyle for a Scunthorpe United corner kick.
It's better play, a bit more patient, working the ball from left to right. In the corner, I think Southport conceded a goal against Farsley, I think, a couple of weeks ago, so they are a little bit weak in terms of set pieces, I think.
Well, as we were saying, Southport have the third worst defence in the league. As the corner comes in, it's headed away. Scunthorpe United trying to get on the bits and pieces, but Southport hack that clear. So I was saying Southport have the third worst defence in the National League North so far this season. They've conceded 32 league goals already. Butterfield across to Tyler Denton. Half an hour gone on BBC Radio Humberside. Still 0-0 here. Cross comes in from the left from Andrew Boyce, of all people. Blocked comfortably by Finlay Heath. Out for an iron throw. Over on the left. Just about level with the penalty area is what it looks like from here. It's bowled back to Kean Scales. Scunthorpe United have pretty much all of their outfield players entrenched in the Southport half. Law inside to Barrows. Back it goes to Kean Scales. Now Butterfield, left of centre. This time, Denton crosses in from the left-hand side. Good header away by Harry Flowers at the near post. It's brought down well by Brad Holmes. Good stuff there from the Southport centre-forward. And then got the tug on his arm from Kean Scales. Southport try and take the free kick quickly. Fortunately for them, it'll be pulled back as it balloons straight into Ross Barrows. Southport free kick. And Kean Scales goes into the book.
Yeah, frustrating. Denton, a great position, and he just hit the first man again. It's happened both sides. Law and Denton need to miss the first man out at least, and give opportunity for somebody to get on the end of it. But it's not good enough with their quality. They got quality on the ball, especially Denton on that left-hand side, and he's just hit the first man again.
Just quickly, a message on WhatsApp, 08000 321 333 from Jim B. Says, a long-time Iron fan listening in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Always great commentary and colour. Glad to hear some noise at Glanford Park these days. Love my club. Thanks for the message, Jim. Free kick is flighted towards the Scunthorpe United penalty area. Coogan heads it away. It's a foot race between Heath and Butterfield to get there first. Heath did do so. Butterfield was quite clearly pulling his shorts to prevent him from keeping hold of the ball. Referee didn't spot that, but Southport still have it. So I say that, it's almost given away. It's a 50-50 there between Flowers and Scales. Flowers quite cleanly got the ball, but both players have come off considerably worse from that challenge, and I suspect both sets of physios will need to come on here, and Southport won't need this given their injury woes at the moment.
Yeah, it was a short pass from Southport midfield player back to the centre half, and Scales, I think, just tried to put a bit of pressure on, just got caught a little bit higher, but he seems to be okay, Scales. It's more the Southport central defender who looks like he's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, it's Harry Flowers who is back in the starting lineup tonight, having been on the bench on Saturday. You may recognise the surname. He's the grandson of Ron Flowers, who was part of the 1966 World Cup winning squad. Didn't start in the final against West Germany, but did eventually end up receiving his winner's medal at Downing Street in 2009. And he stayed down at the moment.
Nice to see they reacted quickly with that presentation, wasn't it?
Well, I think there was a campaign from the FA, so...
Yeah.
Flowers is still getting treatment at the moment. Kean Scales is okay, by the way, who was recently booked, of course. Flowers is sat down right on the halfway line at the moment, getting some water.
I do wonder if Scales perhaps felt he was a little bit to blame in the challenge, even if he wasn't, because he looked as though he sat up, had a look around, and then went back down and reacted to whatever was supposed to have... I don't know if you saw that as well, Topes.
Yeah,
he had a quick look, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he's right to go for the ball, and so it's just probably he could have easily been given a foul against Scales, really, but the rest done well.
I think in that scenario anyway, surely the ref would have given Scales one final warning rather than 2 quick yellow cards in succession.
You would hope so, but common sense doesn't
well,
always
you don't know with the
prevail,
referees at these levels. It's a lottery in terms of the quality that you can get in the 6th tier sometimes. Plays back underway then with just over 10 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half. We're still yet to see a goal at Glanford Park this evening. 0-0 between Scunthorpe United and Southport here on BBC Radio Humberside. Evans loops the ball up into the air on the halfway line. Now it's Morgan on the edge of the centre circle, sprays it wide to the left with Watson. It balloons off of his chest, but he brings it under control, shifts it onto his left foot before digging out the cross straight into the gloves of Fitzsimons again. Watson hasn't found his radar down that left-hand side as of yet with his crossing tonight.
Yeah, I think it's too easy for him to deliver the ball. Barrows has dropped off him, let him take him down the other side of him and deliver the cross. Even though it weren't a good ball in, it's still a cross. Let's get a little bit tighter, a little bit more aggressive, I would like to see.
Bowled out by Fitzsimons to Coogan. Now, Butterfield, just behind the halfway line, into the right-hand touchline to Barrows, who then fires it back into the Scunthorpe United half with Coogan. And they'll try again from defence. Scales, over the halfway line, he goes into the Southport half, onto his right foot, powers the pass into the feet of Tyler Denton, rides the challenge before eventually going down from Declan Evans, but play continues. Butterfield, right of centre, into Barrows, first time cross on the right-hand side, smashes it into the chest of Niall Watson, and it's another Scunthorpe United corner kick.
I don't know if I'm being hypercritical, but so much time there. Could have had a touch. He's, again, the poor cross hit the first man. It's a little bit of quality. Must be frustrating for Whitehall. He's waiting for that half-decent cross in the box.
Butterfield with it then. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger towards the back post. Southport head it away again. Boyce nods it on, but there is Watson to hack it clear on the volley from the edge of his own penalty area, and here comes Southport on the counter-attack. Amami spins his man and then chops inside past Smith, tries to switch play from right to left, but the pass isn't long enough for Watson to get onto, and now Scunthorpe United on the attack down the other end. Barrows keeps the ball away from the challenge of Morgan, but then runs into the wall of Declan Evans, and the Sandgrounders clear away left-footed with Jack Doyle. Only manages to pick out Jason Law. Law to Butterfield. Inside. Step over to take the ball away from Heath. Strikes it left-footed from range. Again, he's not finding the target tonight. Jacob Butterfield wide of the near left-hand post on this occasion. And it's another Southport goal kick.
Yeah, just snatched it a little bit. Left foot, cut across, round about just outside the 18-yard box, 25 yards out. Drifted to the goalkeeper's right.
Goal kick then, which Chris Renshaw will take. Was at Curzon Ashton last season. Picked up a couple of prizes in the end of season awards there. Amami, loose touch on the edge of the centre circle, gives the ball to Denton, who plays in Smith down the left. One-on-one with Thompson into the penalty area, onto his right foot. Smith lays it off to Butterfield onto his left foot. It's blocked by Flowers as it looked destined for the bottom right-hand corner. And Southport playing their way out of trouble and doing it well as Evans boots the ball clear.
Again, good bit of play by Smith there, cutting inside, selecting to pass rather than shoot onto to Battlefield's left foot. And he's just blocked about 6-7 yards outside the goal frame.
As the noise levels start to rise at Glanford Park, and then Whitehall produces groans as he gives the ball away. Southport on the attack. Hamami down the right-hand side, edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot. And Ross Fitzsimons is left flat-footed there as the drifting shot from right to left is just wide of the far right-hand post.
Yeah, Watson just failed to get any contact on that. It's an in-swinging cross. And again, all we needed was a faintness of touches, and it's just drifted past the far post. Another lucky escape for Scunthorpe. Again, it's that counter-attacking that they're a bit susceptible to.
Butterfield. 1-2 between him and Michael Clunan. And now it's Andrew Boyce on the ball for Scunthorpe United. To the left back, Tyler Denton. Ball goes over halfway to Connor Smith. Tyler Denton is barged down to the ground. The referee just looks at it and moves on, as play was already continuing anyway. Butterfield to Barrows, midway inside the Southport half, plays it into the penalty area for Law to latch onto, just outside the 6-yard box, onto his left foot, back to Whitehall, and then it's Law again, strikes it left-footed, blocked by Flowers again, and Southport clear away, not very far though, but then Niall Watson nips in to complete the clearance.
That's twice now. Flowers, big frame, looks about 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". Put two real good blocks on defensively, but very unlucky from Scunthorpe, sir.
Boyce on the edge of the centre circle inside his own half, over the halfway line to Scales, and now it's Clunan in the centre circle, across the halfway line to Coogan. And now Barrows has lost the ball, was trying to bring it under control with his right foot and lost sight of it, and he's put it out for a Southport throw. 5 minutes to go then until half-time here on BBC Radio Humberside. Get your thoughts in on the first half so far. You can text 81333, start your message with the letters RH. We're on WhatsApp as well, 08000 321 333, same rule applies there. And on X on social media, at Humberside Sport. We'll be hearing from Maxime Coogan at the break as well, as here's Scales, stinks into the penalty area. Whitehall with the diving header from distance. He had a lot to do there, and he didn't do too badly in fairness. It was just over the corner between the crossbar and the post, and it's a Southport goal kick.
Yeah, he was slightly behind him. He's had to kind of pivot back and twist his neck, and he's come off the top of it, and so a little bit unlucky, just slightly behind him.
They're creating chances, Steve, aren't they, Scunthorpe United? But nothing really that has tested Chris Renshaw so far. No,
I think Jimmy Dean, 4 minutes before half-time, be relatively pleased. Just that little bit of cutting edge, maybe that little bit of luck where the ball drops. But like you said, nothing really clear-cut as of yet.
Ball's brought down by Danny Whitehall, who wins the free kick off of Declan Evans, to sarcastic cheers from the Donny Road end to our left-hand side, and Louis Griffiths, the referee, will just pull over Declan Evans to have a word here. The former Rochdale Youth Academy product, and it is just a word for Declan Evans, who jogs away. Just the one booking so far that Louis Griffiths has given out to Key and Scales.
He does that well, Whitehall. He just puts the brakes on and it draws a defender to push him in the back, and does get a fair few fouls playing like that.
Free kick from the right then here for Scunthorpe United. It's just Jason Law who's over it. Whips in left-footed. Glancing header on from Danny Whitehall, and that is well off target. Way off target compared to his previous effort. Somehow managed to only go out for a goal kick, but it was quite far wide of the target.
Yeah, again, that's slightly under it. I would like to over it the crosses. There's plenty of players on the far post. It's just drifted a little bit to the near post. Good power and pace, but again, another 3 or 4 yards, a little bit more height on the ball.
Goal kick then, which Chris Renshaw pumps forward left-footed. Coogan wins the first header, but the ball will drop to Southport here, and Hamami flicks into the path of Holmes, who's peeled wide to receive possession. Holmes again back into the Southport squad this evening. 1-2 between the Blackpool Loney and Doyle, and Holmes tries to switch play, and Barrows is down at the moment. Header into the Scunthorpe United penalty area. Fitzsimons has lost it. Here is O'Neill trying to get away from the Scunthorpe United goalkeeper. Goes down. Wasn't too much in that, and the referee bizarrely has stopped play because it's not quite clearly not a head injury from here, but Louis Griffiths has deemed the injury to Ross Barrows serious enough to halt play. As I say, Steve, didn't really look like there was enough there between Mikey O'Neill and Ross Fitzsimons for the referee to give a penalty kick. No,
he's looking for the penalty. Fitzsimons has come out and sold himself really. He's tried to recover. just shoulder to shoulder even, and he's taken a dive. Probably better to try and stay on his feet if truth be told, but it's worked out well for Scunthorpe. Just don't know what's happening with Barrows here, because I didn't see anything with that incident.
No, he just went down really, and he's having his left leg seen to at the moment by the Scunthorpe United physio, and this is concerning as the physio talks into some kind of lip mic that he's got on his coat. Of course, Scunthorpe United don't have any defenders on the bench tonight. To read you out that suspension full, it's Danny Elliott, Callum Roberts, Cameron Jenkins, Finlay Shrimpton and Jack Jenkins. Callum Roberts, sorry. It's quite an attacking bench as well, but looks like Ross Barrows may be okay. He's trying to run it off.
Yeah, it looks like his left ankle. I don't know if he rolled it. Again, the ball was nowhere really near him, so I don't know if he just rolled his left ankle. So there's only a minute to go for half-time plus stoppage time.
Yeah, maybe they'll do what they did with Michael Kelly, see if he can make it towards the break and then bring him off. But as I say, Danny Elliott, Callum Roberts, Cameron Wilson, Finlay Shrimpton, Jack Jenkins on the bench for Scunthorpe United tonight. Drop ball for the Iron after the referee stopped play for that injury, and Ross Fitzsimons will be one happy man, having not got himself in too much trouble there in the end. As we're into added time here at Glanford Park, still Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0 in the National League North. Butterfield in possession for the Iron. 10 yards behind the halfway line, was being pressed by Mikey O'Neill, so played the ball back into defence with Maxime Coogan. Andrew Boyce now with it to the left-hand touchline with Connor Smith. Goes back into the hosts' half with Boyce again. Comes forward with the ball glued to his right foot. Butterfield into Southport territory with Barrows now, who's back on down that right-hand side. Tried to flick it down the channel for Butterfield to run onto, but that's cut out. And Scunthorpe United have a throw here as Clunan plays the ball off of Brad Holmes. Lobs it back to Maxime Coogan, the right-sided centre-half. Scales just outside of the centre circle. Spreads it wide to the left with Connor Smith. Rolls the ball underneath his right foot before poking it back to Clunan on halfway, the Scunthorpe United captain. Then Butterfield with space, right of centre. Good 40 yards from goal. Spins onto his left foot. Back into the centre of the park with Michael Clunan. Then Scales, and they work the ball from right to left here, Scunthorpe United. Denton level with the penalty area. Retreats back to Scales, and that's a wayward pass that's intercepted by Southport and Finlay Heath, but he has his pocket picked by Smith. And so Scunthorpe United will try again as we've played nearly 2 minutes of additional time at Glanford Park. Scales with the ball on his right foot, drifts it out wide to Ross Barrows. The cross comes in and it's blocked and put out of play for a throw by Watson. For a Scunthorpe United throw, just in front of the right-hand corner flag. Scales inside to Clunan. Smith hooks it back to Boyce. Scunthorpe United all in the Southport half at the moment, in the final stages of additional time. Back to Boyce on his right foot, looks up, plays a short pass to Butterfield and then gets it back. Now it's Clunan just over the halfway line. Holmes closes in, so he goes short to Boyce again. Butterfield and Scunthorpe United not really making any inroads here, and they've given the ball away. One last chance for Southport at the end of this first half, as there's a foul on Mikey O'Neill, it looks like, or is it Hamami? I think it's Mikey O'Neill, and it's a free kick for Southport here, and the physio will be needed again as Mikey O'Neill stayed down clutching his head.
Yeah, a bit of a delay on that decision. I think he's had to really think about that, and I didn't really see it as a foul. Obviously he's in a better position, but looked a little bit harsh on Scunthorpe that with last 30 seconds. Well, into more added time now.
Yeah, we've played 3 minutes of additional time. As I say, get your thoughts in on that first half if you're watching or listening from home. We are across all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies tonight, and we're on BBC Sounds on the website, on the app, if you need to go out this evening Get in touch on the text 81333. Start your message with the letters RH. That also applies for WhatsApp. Save the number 08000 321 333 as a contact to your phone to get in touch with us via that platform. And on Twitter, on X as well, on social media at Humberside Sport. Perhaps then the last action of the first half. This set piece just heads up that Hull City midfielder Tyler Morton has scored for England's under-21s tonight. 1-0 to the Three Lions. David Morgan then. Right-footed free kick. Puts into space for Hamami to latch onto. Cross comes in from the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. And it's put behind by Cian Scales for a Southport corner kick. Their first of the night. Morgan, who took the free kick. Who's wearing the captain's armband tonight. Will go across to take this set piece. And Jim Bentley is barking at Niall Watson to make his way into the 6-yard area. Tries to run round the back of Tyler Denton. In comes the corner kick then. Stood up by Morgan. Heath with the header back across goal. It'll bounce once inside the Scunthorpe United penalty area. It's cleared by Danny Whitehall. And that is that for the first half here. A goalless first half at Glanford Park between Scunthorpe United and Southport. Little in the way of real clear-cut opportunities to tell you about. Jacob Butterfield has been trying to find the target from distance, but he's only managed to drag his efforts wide of goal. Ross Barrows had a shot blocked in the penalty area. Harry Flowers has put his body on the line on a couple of occasions. A couple of half chances as well for Southport. Niall Watson glanced an effort straight into the gloves of Ross Fitzsimons at the near post. Josh Hamami as well, drifting an effort wide from the right-hand side of the penalty area. Steve Torpey, plenty of huff and puff, but little in the way of quality going forward from both sides in that first period. Yeah,
it's kind of a repeat performance for Scunthorpe. A lot of possession, playing against a team who's defending in their defensive third of the pitch. They've had created half chances at the moment, and that's why this first goal is really vital, because that can bring out Southport if Scunthorpe do get it. But they've been susceptible on a couple of occasions where they have counter-attacked and had a couple of half opportunities, Southport.
Second half commentary to come on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies, but at the break at Glanford Park, it's Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0.
Cheers, Ollie. Second half commentary on the way here from Glanford Park with Ollie Turner and Steve Torpey. We'll hear from the Iron defender Maxim Coogan in just a few minutes' time. Let's take a look at some of the European action and the games that are taking place in League One, in the EFL Trophy and in the National League and National League North as well. We'll start with those European games, and in the under-21s qualifying. Under-21s qualifying, England are in action against Northern Ireland's under-21s. Hull City's Tyler Morton makes his full under-21s debut for the Young Lions tonight. On the bench, Jaden Philogene and Liam Delap, and at half-time, England's under-21s are a 0-0 up, and the goal coming from Hull City's Tyler Morton. What a way to make your full debut for your international side. In European Championship senior qualifying, Gibraltar not doing too bad compared to the 14 they shipped against France the other day. At the moment, they're only 3-0 down against the Netherlands. France are leading Greece by 0-0. The interesting one in Group D, Wales needing a win and need Croatia to drop points for Wales to qualify automatically for next summer's tournament. Well, Wales are leading by 0-0 as it heads to half-time against Turkey. But just before the break, Croatia took the lead against Armenia. So that's not going Wales' way. They'll have to rely on a playoff as things stand in Group I. Andorra 0, Israel 1, Kosovo 0, Belarus 1, Romania 0, Switzerland 0. In League One, Leyton Orient and Lincoln City are goalless in the EFL Trophy. Charlton Athletic 3, Sutton United 0, Colchester United 1, Peterborough United 0, Milton Keynes Dons 2, Northampton Town 1. That was an earlier kick-off. That's not too far away from full time in that one. Likewise, in the game down at the County Ground. Swindon Town 0, Exeter City 1. Goalless between Crewe and Newcastle's under-21s. Nottingham Forest under-21s are leading at Accrington by 2-0. Bradford City 3, Barnsley 0. Not the league, but Graham Alexander looking for his first win in charge of the Bantams. It's heading that way at half-time in the Yorkshire Derby, and it's Burton Albion 2, Mansfield Town 1. On to the National League North, just to keep you up to date with what's happening in Scunthorpe United's division. Alfreton Town 1, Chester 1, Banbury United 0, Bishop Stortford 1, Blythe Spartans 0, Chorley 1, Boston and Rushall Olympic. It's saying goalless here, but it's also telling me it's 9 minutes in. I think that's lacking an update at the moment. Tends to be the case sometimes in the lower divisions. In the non-league, Buxton 1, Hereford 0. Darlington 1, Warrington Town 0. Warrington, the visitors here on Saturday. Steve Torpey and Jed Pember, will be your commentary team for that one on Saturday Sport. Farsley Celtic 0, Spennymoor Town 0. Scarborough Athletic 1, Kings Lynn Town 0. Your commentary game here is goalless. The Iron against Southport. South Shields against Curzon Ashton. I'll bring you an update on that one in a little while, because that does impact things at the top of the table. In fact, it's goalless at the break. And likewise, in the game between Tamworth and Brackley Town. Tamworth, the current leading side in the National League North. So it's as you were between the top three teams. We'll see if that changes in the second 45 minutes. Let's hear them from Iron defender Maxim Coogan. As I've been promising, his latest spell in English football has been fairly fruitful so far. He won promotion after joining York City last year, having played in Ireland for Shelbourne, Warren Point and Waterford. He even featured for UCD in their Europa League qualifying campaign back in 2015, which he's been telling Ollie about.
Yeah, that was a great experience, to be honest. We went and played in Luxembourg, 2 legs away in a home, and then got through and then played Slovan Bratislava in Slovakia as well, away in a home. Incredible experiences for me as a young player at the time. Just to experience different styles of football. European football, of course, is quite particular in comparison to English football. So it's another, it was definitely an experience to learn from, and I played against some really, really top players. Players that had caps in World Cups for their nations. But that's what football is about, isn't it? It's about creating those memories, and at the end of it, hopefully you can look back and the memories are fond, and you're proud of what you've achieved throughout your career, you know. So that's what it's all about. It was a really good experience, and I'm really glad I got to do that, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Did you manage to swap any shirts and get some random European ones in your collection?
I actually didn't, unfortunately. I think I was just a bit excited by the whole experience. I didn't think about getting a shirt, to be honest.
Max, is it right you were born in Cameroon and then moved to Ireland?
Yeah, that's right. So born in Cameroon, moved to Ireland when I was between 6 and 7 months old. So I was very, very young. At the time, I didn't remember much, of course, but yeah, lived in Ireland all my life since then, really.
Have you ever been back to Cameroon since?
Yeah, I have. I've been back a couple of times. Really, really in touch with my roots. Really, really fond of the country. I definitely look to try and go back as much as I can in the off season. Very much Cameroonian.
And I know you've got both a BA and a master's degree in economics. How was it studying for those degrees while I think you were playing at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. So I did an undergraduate degree in economics and statistics, and then went on to do a master's in economics in UCD. Challenging, of course. It was a very challenging 4 years, having to balance the both of them. But I'm very grateful to UCD because they provided a platform for me to follow full-time education and full-time football at the same time. Of course, it came with its challenges, but I'm extremely grateful to have done that. And I think it's not a bad backup to have.
Have you been able to put them to use so far during your career?
So far, I haven't. I did, during an off-season, I did work in the Central Statistics Office of Ireland, actually. I did that for, I think, about 2 or 3 months and gained some experience there, which was very insightful. Yeah, so that's probably the most experience I have to date in terms of using my degree. But it was definitely insightful and something that I did actually enjoy a lot.
And what do you hope to do with those qualifications when you finish playing?
It's a good question. I think I've got a number of options, really. Potentially step into the world of finance. To be honest, I'd probably like to continue studying, to be honest, while I'm playing. So I'm actually, surprisingly, you mentioned it, I'm actually looking at a couple of options of what I can do finance-wise. Yeah, so I think I'll venture into the world of finance, hopefully acquire a couple of more certificates while I'm playing, so then I set myself up for when I decide to retire, hopefully many years down the line.
Let's hope so. Have you spoken to Danny Elliott about it? Because I think he studied economics over in America.
I haven't spoken to Danny Elliott about it. I know Danny Whitehall studied marketing. I know Michael Clunan obviously was an accountant before he came to Scunthorpe. So I think Clunes would have a lot more insight into the world of finance. So I might have a chat with him and see what he thinks.
You've got quite a few qualified players in your squad.
That's what it seems to be. Yeah, it seems to be that way. It's probably a bit rare for football changing room to have that number of degrees. But listen, I think it's changing a lot. You know, a lot of players are realizing that you do need to. Yeah, your education is just as important as your football. So a lot of them are kind of venturing into different fields and trying to acquire some sort of qualification, which is incredible. You know, I think it's really, really important.
Final part of a few bits we've heard from Maxim Coogan chatting to Ollie. Really enjoyable that as well, finding out about his time in Ireland and his studies as well, and kids saying that he's very much still in touch with his Cameroonian roots. He'll be in the side, I would think, in the second half, barring any surprises for this game here at Glanford Park. 0-0 between the Iron and Southport. Second half commentary on the way in just a second. Last night, England got the point they needed to make sure they're going to be one of the top seeds at Euro 24. It was an uninspiring 1-1 draw away to North Macedonia. The hosts scored first and awarded a controversial penalty after a foul by debutant Rico Lewis at the end of the first half. England equalised in the second. That was thanks to an own goal. Well, after the match, England winger Jack Grealish spoke to our correspondent John Murray.
Frustrating night, Jack?
Well, yeah, you could say so, obviously, with the result. I don't think we can be too hard on ourselves, you know. Sometimes these places, you know, are difficult to come. Obviously, they scored a penalty, which I think was never a penalty. And I think they had a couple of shots after that or something, maybe. And listen, you know, we could have had a penalty ourselves. Yeah, we hit the woodwork. Obviously, my goal got chalked off. But yeah, I think we dominated the game. But like I said, you know, we were a difficult pitch to play on. Hostile atmosphere. Sometimes, you know, it's a tough place to come.
Yeah, is it difficult not to get affected by that in the game? The whole combination of events.
Well, yeah, you know, it all adds up. Like I've just said. I don't think the referee had the best of games either. But listen, like I said, you know, sometimes this happens in football, and yeah, it's part of it.
So now the target, looking ahead to the finals next summer and the matches that you'll have against Belgium and Brazil in March, a totally different sort of approach, isn't it, to the matches that you've had this month?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think we all know they'll be a lot tougher. And that's what we want to do, though, you know, going into the tournament. We want to play against the best opposition and test ourselves. So, you know, there's no better way to do it than playing Brazil and Belgium. And it'll be 2 games, you know, that we're all looking forward to. And I think this year, you know, we've had a brilliant year. You know, I think it's 8 wins, is it, and 2 draws. So yeah, I can imagine what a few people might say now in the press and stuff. But I think
You'd say stick with us.
well, obviously, you know, even yourself now, you know, you're saying stick with us. Like,
I know.
what do you mean stick with us? Like we've drew 2 games and won 8. Like, we've had a great year, and yeah, we'll go into next year, you know, very, very positive.
Saturday night is the time to showcase your talent on the BBC.
Thank you so much.
From 6, BBC Upload brings you the best in new comedy, poetry and spoken word.
Upload is a great way to reach a new audience with my spoken word poetry.
From 8, BBC Introducing.
I want to thank you for the support, playing my tracks on the radio.
Supporting and championing new music made right here.
Thank you so much. Honestly, that means so much to all of us.
BBC Upload and BBC Introducing.
Just a few clicks and then the next thing you're getting played on air.
Saturday night from 6 or anytime on BBC Sounds.
BBC Radio Humberside.
Every kick of every game.
The only place to follow your team live.
BBC Radio Humberside Sports.
And it's BBC Radio Humberside Tuesday night sport here on at Glanford Park. Mike White with you until 10 o'clock. Don't forget you can chat to us on the Football Forum after the game. We'll talk to a fans panel guest. You can give us a call as well, 08000 665 I'll have a quick word with Steve Torpey in a second. Ollie, looks like there's going to be a change for the Iron, doesn't it?
Well, Callum Roberts has come out incredibly early and he's got the full kit on, so unless he's trying to make social media with those full kit pages, I would suspect that he's going to be coming on very shortly.
What pages would those be? Is it? No, never mind. We'll leave it there. I'll not go there.
I don't think they're that explicit.
Even after we're not quite at the 9 o'clock watershed yet, are we? Steve Torpey, what do you want to see from the Iron in the second half?
Just a little bit more quality in wide areas. I think Scunthorpe got into some good positions, especially down this right-hand side, and just a little bit better quality. You know, they work hard, and Southport are trying to guide them down both flanks. So if they are doing that, and there's been some good opportunities, just to avoid hitting the first defender, and that's been a bit frustrating, and also probably if Denton and Smith can combine, they've done really well recently, and just this has probably been snuffled out a little bit in terms of Southport have seen that and they've done their own work. But I'd like to see a little bit more combination, a little bit more movement from those two on the left-hand side as well.
Let's see if they can produce that then. We'll find out about the change as well. Second half commentary here then on BBC Radio Humberside. You've heard from Steve Torpey, your match commentator, to take you through the action. Ollie Turner.
Thanks, Mike. We're expecting, well, we know that Callum Roberts is coming on for certain. We will try and deduce who is coming off. I think it may be Ross Barrows, and indeed it is. Ross Barrows is off, having gone down towards the end of that first half with an injury. And he has been forced off with that, which is another blow for Scunthorpe United defensively, having already lost Michael Kelly, who's set to be out for a week or so with a calf strain, and Regan Ogle, who remains sidelined with that collarbone issue. It'll be intriguing to see as well how Scunthorpe United line up in this second period, formation-wise. But we are about to get back underway. Scunthorpe United will be attacking from right to left in this second half towards the Donny Road end in their claret shirts with blue sleeves, claret shorts and socks. Southport in the old gold with black stripes with black shorts and socks, shooting from left to right towards their own supporters, who have been fairly noisy so far in the south stand to our right. Mikey O'Neill is set to get us back underway. We'll go through the two teams once we've worked out how Scunthorpe United are lining up. It looks like Ross Fitzsimons is the goalkeeper. The back four, Tyler Denton, Andrew Boyce, Maxim Coogan, and it looks like Cian Scales is at right back at the moment, interestingly. In midfield will be Jason Law, Michael Clunan, the captain, and Jacob Butterfield. Connor Smith has stayed on the left. Danny Whitehall, the former Southport striker, through the middle, and it will be Callum Roberts out wide on the right-hand side as we're back underway. Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0 in the National League North. We'll go through the Southport team in a moment as Brad Holmes almost gets onto a loose ball. Here is Holmes, edge at the penalty area, on his right foot! And it's saved by Ross Fitzsimons. It almost wriggled free of his gloves, but an early opportunity for Southport at the start of this second half, and it was all Scunthorpe United's own doing. Yeah, sloppy defending, and got away with it. It's shot for 20 yards, hard and low to Fitzsimons' right. He managed to smother it the second attempt. So, Scunthorpe United survived that scare, and they are now in possession on the halfway line with Callum Roberts. Back to Maxime Coogan, who is on the right-hand side of that two-man central defence. Does indeed look that Cian Scales is pretty much playing at right-back, but the two full-backs are pretty pushed up at the opening of this second half as Jason Law lets the ball bobble out for a throw to Scunthorpe United down the left. Back to Law, just over the halfway line. Now finds Connor Smith, who takes a touch away from Morgan. Butterfield loses possession, though. Back with Scunthorpe United. Here is Butterfield again. Midway inside the Southport half, prods it back to Michael Clunan, gives it to Cian Scales. Back now with Clunan again, passes to Butterfield, left of centre, whipped over the top of the Southport back line, found Denton, edge of the penalty area, crosses too long though for Danny Whitehall and Callum Roberts at the back post, and it's a Southport throw. Yeah, a bit more intention now. Denton's pushed up with a good run, just showing back the quality of cross, but intent is shown, a bit more energy and a good start. 3 minutes into the second half. Southport team, Chris Renshaw is their goalkeeper. The back four from left to right, Jack Doyle, Declan Evans, Harry Flowers and Matthew Thompson. David Morgan is shielding that back four. I'll break off as Scunthorpe United are on the attack here. Smith into the penalty area. Here he goes. A left-footed shot takes a deflection off of Thompson's ankles on the way through, and it's easily dealt with by Renshaw. So, yeah, that back four, Doyle, Evans, Flowers, Thompson, Morgan the captain shielding it. The two other central midfielders are O'Neill and Heath, who are playing slightly further up. Niall Watson over on the left, Hamami on the right, Brad Holmes through the middle. Here come Southport again. Watson down that left-hand side trying to latch onto a long ball forward. It's brought down by Doyle. Scales with the clearance away. Here's Danny Whitehall, who started his senior career back at Southport in 2013, made just 3 appearances for the club, and he keeps possession for the hosts. Denton now. Short pass down the left to Smith. Drifts inside on his right foot. Now Law tries to dig the ball up into the air. Almost lost it. Scunthorpe United keep possession. Butterfield as Morgan closes in. The Southport captain. Butterfield again, just outside of the centre circle. Left of centre now to Michael Clunan. Looks up. Sweeps the pass into Connor Smith. Cross is driven in left-footed. It goes between both Danny Whitehall and Callum Roberts, who just stood there looking at one another. Southport clear that away. Here's the latest wave of Scunthorpe United players coming forward. Smith with the latest cross. Morgan's there to head it clear. Denton tries to meet the clearance. Boyce heads it back towards the Southport penalty area. It's brought down by Law. Skips past Hamami. And Scunthorpe United players are watching each other and expecting one player to dig the other out of trouble. And in the end, Law gives away the free kick. He's brought down Finlay Heath. And it's a Southport free kick. Yeah, a bit frantic there, a bit of miscommunication. Both players left it. As you can hear, one of the Southport players has gone down with a twisted ankle, exactly the same place as the first half. Yeah, where Ross Barrows went down. Yeah. Finlay Heath, he's back up. His shirt is fully untucked for this second half. Finlay Heath, who has represented the Isle of Man at youth level, and the Southport free kick is angled into the Scunthorpe United half. Heath back up onto his feet, wins the first header, tries to get onto the loose ball, and it ricochets into the path of Mikey O'Neill. O'Neill twists and turns. Morgan pushes it into Hamami on the right-hand side. He prods it infield but can't find a teammate in that old gold shirt. And Scunthorpe United pump the ball away. Doyle with the header on the halfway line. It's brought down by O'Neill, who's picking up the ball in interesting spaces so far in this second half. And as I say that, he's given it away. And Scunthorpe United back in possession. 5 minutes gone in this second half. Still goalless between the Iron and the Sandgrounders here on BBC Radio Humberside. Denton, long ball forward. Flowers comes across to bring it down with his chest. 2-0 now to England's under-21s. Harvey Elliott's the Liverpool midfielder with a direct free kick to double England's lead in that one. Throw to Scunthorpe United. Denton throws it back behind the halfway line to Butterfield. Sends it wide to the right with Kean Scales. His pass is beyond Callum Roberts, though. Really scrappy start to this second half from both teams. Butterfield powers it forward. It's brought down well by Whitehall. Laid off to Roberts on that right-hand flank. Surges away from his man towards a dead ball line. Can't keep it in play, though, and it's a Southport goal kick.
Yeah, probably Whitehall's drifting out to the right-hand side and looking for people in the box, and he's playing as a right winger there, so he really needs to stay central, especially if Scunthorpe were to start delivering better quality crosses in, or more crosses into the 18-yard box.
We have had a WhatsApp message that we got just before half-time, which I'll try and get to when we get a lengthy break. Renshaw's goal kick sails over the top of Brad Holmes' head. It's stayed in play with Niall Watson, but Coogan has come across to drown him out, but he's given it away to Holmes. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. First shot's blocked. On the rebound, Holmes again. Boyce with the last-ditch effort to deny Holmes. Cross comes in from the right-hand side from Heath. Coogan heads it away. Southport still coming forward here. Morgan, midway inside the Scunthorpe United half. Scunthorpe making their own problems here. Morgan flicks it down the left-hand side. Scales is there. And Scunthorpe United play themselves out of trouble. Now the Iron on the attack with Roberts as a good, clean sliding challenge in from behind from Heath to win the ball. And Southport have it back. Heath inside his own half, back to Flowers. Heavy touch to take the ball away from Whitehall. Now it's Hamami on the halfway line. He's been crowded out, and Scunthorpe United get possession back with Butterfield. Keeps it away from the clutches of Morgan. And now it's Denton just over the halfway line. Prods it into Connor Smith. There was a late challenge by Denton, on Denton by Hamami. And it's a Scunthorpe United free kick there. And what on earth has happened to the Iron at the start of this second half? Steve Torpey.
Well, Coogan really got away with a get out of jail card there. Bad back pass. Didn't see the Southport striker. I think it was a blind side. And really should have scored. Yeah, it's scrappy. They're in and out of possession. No real quality. Just need to be patient and just keep the ball. Don't need to go and attack all the time. It's just like literally every ball needs to play forward, but it doesn't. Just be patient.
Free kick is taken short. Clunan is pointing and telling Smith to run into space, but he stays back, crosses in from the left-hand side. It's an in-swinger towards the back post. Southport equal to that, clear it away. Scunthorpe United will try again with Tyler Denton. Looks up, once again the direct ball forward, tries to switch play from left to right. Doyle with the header clear. It's brought down by Watson for the visitors. Flicks it off the ankles of Kean Scales, and visitors keep possession. Morgan goes along this time, aiming for Watson. Scales at the clearance, only as far as Brad Holmes, who had two excellent opportunities, three even, at the start of this second half to give Southport the lead. Denied by a save by Ross Fitzsimons and a block from Andrew Boyce. Jason Law now on the ball for the hosts. On his left foot, goes across the Scunthorpe United half to Andrew Boyce. Over the halfway line it goes to Tyler Denton. First time passing behind the Southport back line is collected by Flowers, delayed before eventually making the clearance. Chested down by Hamami. Cries of handball from Michael Clunan are waved away. And here comes Southport now. Watson, midway inside Scunthorpe United territory, over on the far side, running at the makeshift right back Kean Scales. Watson checks back, pushes it into the penalty area for Finley Heath to bring under control. Clunan slides in, and in winning the ball he's been brought down, and Clunan has words with Heath on the edge of his own penalty area, and it's a Scunthorpe United free kick.
Yeah, I don't know if Jimmy Dean will be looking to make some changes. See Elliott's warming up. again, it's the same old. They need to try and change the game plan and try a different tactics. But at the moment, they're just being nullified. They've done their homework at Southport, making it real frustrating evening for Scunthorpe.
Coogan across defence to Boyce. Brad Holmes closes in. Denton, first time pass to Clunan. He's given it away. Southport bringing bodies forward again here. Holmes onto his right foot, plays it into Hamami inside the penalty area. Right-footed shot from the edge of the area, blazes it over the bar. Promising opportunity for Southport goes awry. It's a Scunthorpe United goal kick.
Yeah, Jim Bentley, Southport's manager, just frustrated as well. Again, that little bit of quality from both teams is really lacking this evening. Great position from Southport, and he's ballooned it over the crossbar from 15-20 yards.
Butterfield keeps possession for the hosts. Back to Kean Scales. Into the centre circle, the ball goes with Michael Clunan. And they guide it wide to the left-hand side with Denton. Driven into the penalty area. Chested down by Law. Now Scales trying to wriggle free of the close company of Matthew Thompson. Couple of step overs from Smith into the penalty area now. Still going. Smith dances free towards the near post. Smith with the back heel. It ricochets underneath Chris Renshaw. Southport clear away. Not very far though. Denton crosses in from the left hand side. Morgan heads clear to Butterfield just outside of the D. Onto his left foot. Shoots. Fumbled up into the air by Renshaw. Off the crossbar from the header from Danny Whitehall. And Evans slices the clearance away. Best chance of the game has gone begging for Scunthorpe United, and the referee Louis Griffiths has stopped play for a head injury. Danny Whitehall stayed down inside the 6-yard box.
Well, where do we start with that? A great dribble into the box, great feet. Goalkeeper's made a good save. It's ricocheted up. Whitehall's coming for the header, and the keeper's got, I think, he's got off his shoulder and it's hit the crossbar, and then Southport have cleared it. But probably the best bit of play in terms of goal scoring opportunity there for Scunthorpe, and really unlucky. Cheers.
Be a drop ball then, surely, for referee Louis Griffiths to let Southport have, uncontested, I would suspect. And it'll be back with Chris Renshaw, who made a meal of that initial effort from Jacob Butterfield from just outside of the D, but perhaps just did enough to turn that goalward header from Danny Whitehall onto the crossbar. Maybe a fingertip touch in the end. Renshaw volleys it forward from inside his own penalty area. Boyce hooks it up into the air and Denton heads away. Who will the ball drop to here? It will drop to Connor Smith, jinking free of Finlay Heath. Final touch comes off the Southport midfielder. Scunthorpe United throw, and the referee is telling the Iron to take the throw from where the ball went out, which Tyler Denton does. Clunan back into defence with Andrew Boyce. Across to Maxime Coogan. And now it's over on the far side in front of the East stand with Kean Scales. Surges past Niall Watson and pokes into Jason Law. Cross comes in, Callum Roberts rather. Cross comes in left-footed, that's blocked. Straight back with Scunthorpe United again. Boyce inside the centre circle to Coogan. Now Butterfield over the halfway line. Wide to the right again, and now it's Butterfield on halfway. Just traps the ball underneath his right foot before deciding what to do with it. And it's back to Coogan, and then Boyce. Now down the left with Tyler Denton in front of the left-hand touchline. Back to Michael Clunan, points out his left arm. Smith, midway inside the Southport territory, back to Clunan. And now Coogan. Wide to the right with Scales. Trying to get past this wall of old gold shirts at the moment are Scunthorpe United. Roberts keeps the ball on the right-hand touchline. Backheels it to Butterfield, who looks up. Comes inside, onto his left foot, delivers across towards the back post. Denton with the header. Wide of goal. Whitehall can't keep it in play. He would have been offside anyway. Southport, goal kick, free kick, whatever.
Yeah, I think Scunthorpe with obviously intentions clear. Both full-backs are really pushed high now. Denton's was on the edge of the 18-yard box, on Southport's 18-yard box, and same with Scales on the other side. So they're really going for it. Just need to be a little bit careful they don't concede or give any chances away on their counter-attack.
Southport goal kick stays in play, an hour gone. Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0 on BBC Radio Humberside. You've just been hearing the voice of former Iron striker Steve Torpey alongside me, Ollie Turner. Coogan clears away. It's held up by Danny Whitehall, but he can't bring it under control. Straight back with the Sandgrounders. Flowers marshals it back to his goalkeeper Renshaw, who balloons it up into the air, left-footed. Brought down by O'Neill. Heath flicks it over the top, and here's Watson to bring the ball under control over on the far side. Has Roberts keeping him close company, and Watson gets the touch off of Kean Scales to win the corner kick for the visitors from the left. Who's going to come up from the back for this one? Flowers and Evans are jauntering forward. Morgan is gone across to the far side to take the corner kick from the left, right-footed. Southport still keeping a couple of players back here, though. Thompson and Doyle are just over the halfway line, and Hamami has stayed back as well. Corner kick comes in, easily dealt with by Ross Fitzsimons. Is there a counter-attack on here? They'll try, will Scunthorpe United. They're being urged on by their supporters. Butterfield over the halfway line. He's brought down clearly there by Niall Watson. And that's a free kick to Scunthorpe United. Will Louis Griffiths book Niall Watson for that? It doesn't look as if he'll do so. Free kick is going to come in then from the right-hand side.
Yeah, it looked a little bit cynical there. Scunthorpe, good counter-attack. Butterfield driving with the ball with his feet. He'd just been dragged down quite blatantly. And I thought that was a booking for sure.
Callum Roberts and Jacob Butterfield over the set piece. It's a one-man wall for Southport of Niall Watson. Butterfield strikes it right-footed in towards the near post. Flowers towers over the top of both his teammate and Danny Whitehall, and now there's a scuffle inside the penalty area. Looked fair to me. Perhaps Whitehall not happy to be clattered into from behind, but Flowers won the header fairly. Should be a Scunthorpe United throw. The referee deals with that situation quickly before it escalates.
Yeah, both Southport centre-halves must be 6'4", both of them. Very, very tall and strong, powerful defenders.
Law collects the ball from the throw and then immediately concedes possession to Southport, who give it straight back to Scunthorpe United. Butterfield into the penalty area, right-hand side, surrounded by Southport players at the moment, just digs out a crafty back heel to play the ball off the ankles of Declan Evans and wins the corner kick from the far side.
Yeah, you can see the Southport defenders didn't want to challenge him. They were just stand on their feet. They've done really well and showed a lot of patience, not committing to drawing into a foul.
Coogan and Boyce up from the back. Corner kick comes in, left footed towards the near post, comes off the shoulder of one of the Southport players at the near post. Another Scunthorpe United corner kick. Noise starting to ramp up at Glanford Park, still 0-0.
Yeah, whipped him near post corner this time. I think it was Law who managed to get a touch on it.
Butterfield will try again. He's going to take it left footed once more. In swinging delivery, sets come into the Southport penalty area. Flowers with another commanding header on this occasion. Will be brought down by Mikey O'Neill for the visitors, having his shirt pulled by Connor Smith, but gets the clearance away. Will dribble all the way back to Fitzsimons, who then just flicks it so confidently with the outside of his right boot to a teammate. Denton almost loses it from Clark, from the divine to the ridiculous. Scunthorpe United on the attack then. Butterfield spreads it wide to the right-hand side. Roberts plays in Scales. Whitehall! How has he missed that? Inside the 6-yard box. It came across his body onto his left foot, and with the instep, he's put it wide of the near post.
Great move down the right-hand side. And from where we was, it looked like it was harder to, or easier to score than to miss like that. I don't know if the goalkeeper got a slight touch on it, but Whitehall is another glaring chance for him.
Goal kick then for Southport And somehow the score here remains goalless as we head towards the 65th minute at Glanford Park in the National League North. Scunthorpe United 0, Southport 0 on BBC Radio Humberside, and Danny Whitehall having a glaring opportunity again to open the scoring against his former club. The Iron will try once more to unlock that Southport defence. Down the right-hand side with Callum Roberts. It's a clean tackle from Jack Doyle to put it out of play for an Iron throw. Roberts takes it quickly. Back to Butterfield. Now it's Scales from the right-hand side, tries to drive it into Roberts on the edge of the penalty area. Scunthorpe United are about to make a second change with Danny Elliott set to come on. Southport clear towards the halfway line, but the ball is not sticking at the moment in this latest passage of play. Butterfield tries to switch it. Flowers wins the first header. He and Whitehall are having their own battle at the moment. And Southport bring it clear. Flowers looks over his shoulder to try and play the pass forward to Hamami. Denton cuts that out. Denton on the halfway line, powers it forward. That one's blocked by Heath. The pendulum swings its way and that flicked over the top by Heath. Will Watson be able to keep it in play on the left? He will. Back to Jack Doyle behind the halfway line. He loops it forward. Brought under control by Watson with Coogan for close company, and Coogan's done well to nick the ball from behind and get Scunthorpe United back in possession. Denton to Smith, right in front of us here at the back of the main West stand, running at his man Thompson. Gets the ball onto his left foot, drifts in towards a near post, into that corridor of uncertainty, and Flowers has really had to stretch for that to put it out of play. Went down and will gingerly take his defensive position in the 6-yard box to defend this set piece. That change will now be made, and Danny Whitehall will not have the chance to redeem himself for that missed opportunity a few moments ago. He's coming off, and Danny Elliott will replace him.
He's not happy either, is he? He's throwing his arms up in the air.
He's walking behind the goal. He's trundling off. A little bit disappointed, more frustration probably with the two chances that he's missed.
Corner kick comes in. Morgan with the header away on the edge of the 6-yard area. Watson flicks it over the top. That's a nice touch from him. Pokes it forward again. He was running out of time and space, and teammates to nick it into. And Scunthorpe United back on the attack. Roberts deflected into the penalty area for Flowers to clear.
And there's a big chance at the moment because South Shields are being held 0-0 against Curzon and Tamworth 0-0 against Brackley. So there's an opportunity here, Tops.
Yeah, and they need to really grasp it. They're getting possession-wise, yeah, fantastic, but converting those possession into goals. But I don't suppose you're going to have much of a clearer-cut chance than Whitehall had 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Danny Whitehall's still not made his way back to the dugout. He's watching this latest Scunthorpe United attack out of play, just about level with the penalty area. Here they come, the Iron, given away by Denton. Southport with the counter-attacking opportunity now, but Holmes hasn't got too many players to support him. He surges past Boyce, though, into the penalty area, goes down, waves away, still at the feet of Holmes inside the box. Pushed it back to Heath. Now wide to Hamami. Jinks into the penalty area, still going, has it nicked off his toes. And just one too many touches for Southport in the opposition box. Butterfield breaks free from Heath. Switches it, sprays it, left to right. Scales. Inside to Law, midway inside the Southport half. Flicks in front of Butterfield, too long for him. You can hear the cries of frustration. Both teams with that final touch, that final pass, just letting them down at the moment.
It's definitely gone from end to end. There's attack, wave of attack for both teams. Lose possession, the attack. Just that final little bit of quality in around the 18-yard box is been missing for both teams all game, really.
It's entertaining. It's not high on quality, but it's entertaining.
Great for the neutral.
Thompson with the throw, midway inside his own half down the right-hand side. Flicked up in the air by Hamami. Butterfield chests it down, I think made inadvertent contact with the right ankle of David Morgan, who's gone down. Butterfield's found the top of the roof of the main West stand, so we'll need another ball here, and Morgan has stayed down. It just like, I don't think there was any I don't think it was intentional at all. No malice in there. He's just inadvertently flicked and made contact with the ankle of David Morgan, who has gone down.
Yeah, I think as he's cleared it, Butterfield, I think he just hung the leg there and he's just caught him on the side of his ankle. I don't think it's nothing too serious, back on his feet, so hopefully he can run that off.
Hull City loanee Liam Delap now on for England's under-21, still 2-0 at Goodison Park. Wales won, Turkey won in Euro 2024 qualifying. They need to win and hope results go their way in terms of the Croatia game to qualify automatically for the tournament in Germany this coming summer. Smith tries to surge past Thompson. He knocked the ball out of play, but the referee has decided that Thompson fouled him in the process. And the former Chester man has given away a free kick here to Scunthorpe United. It's still deep, though, inside the Southport half. And Butterfield will be over it again. Right in front, it's about a yard or matter of centimetres in front of the touchline on this left-hand side. Just the one-man wall for Southport, 10 yards away of Mikey O'Neill. And in comes the free kick, left-footed from Jacob Butterfield. Southport head it away again with Holmes, struck from distance by Clunan. It'll fall to Coogan! And the deadlock is finally broken here at Glanford Park. And what a time for Maxime Coogan to score his first goal for the club since joining in the summer. Recently returned from injury, and that was an absolutely emphatic finish from the defender. He smashed it into the back of the net. Renshaw had absolutely no chance. And Scunthorpe United, from something out of nothing really, the ball dropping to Boyce, and Coogan was there to hammer it home. And the Iron take a 1-0 lead here in the National League North at home to Southport.
Yeah, great finish, like you say. It's a ball in, free kick ball in the box from Butterfield. It's ricocheted, he's dropped on the edge of the 18-yard box, and he just levelled it with his right foot, and the keeper had no chance. Yeah, you could say it's what Scunthorpe deserved, but it's been a long time coming, and now Southport need to maybe change and adapt the way they play now for the last 17, 18 minutes.
Kick-off is taken then. Scunthorpe United 1, Southport 0 here on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies with me, Ollie Turner, former Scunthorpe United striker Steve Torpey. Southport give away a throw-in in an advanced position here. The goal coming in the 72nd minute. And it was Maxime Coogan with it. Turned down a new contract at York City to drop down a division to join the Iron in the summer. There was a reported interest from Wrexham as well. That didn't materialise into anything. And you may be able to hear the chants from the Donny Road end of we're top of the league. Tamworth drawing 0-0 at home to Brackley Town. And South Shields also drawing by the same scoreline at home to Curzon Ashton. Results going the Irons' way at the moment, but they've still got a job to do here at Glanford Park. And Kean Scales clears away, drops to Declan Evans, who thumps it forward. Tyler Denton with the header clear. It'll drop down to Morgan, who hooks it over the top. Brad Holmes, as he timed his run, the offside flag hasn't gone up, it's stayed in play. But Kean Scales has done well there, in an unusual position for him. As I say, that commentator's curse. His clearance doesn't travel very far, and it's back with Southport. Cross comes in from the left-hand side. It's Heath in the box, couldn't direct a shot towards goal. Denton has stayed down in the penalty area, perhaps making a last-ditch block, and the referee will pause play again to check on Tyler Denton. Something out of nothing again for Southport, and it was Heath who wasn't able to take advantage. Yeah,
I thought he could have gone with his head. He's tried to let the ball drop a little bit, which delayed it that split second, and Denton managed to get a block on. Again, a little bit fortunate for Scunthorpe. That was another good opportunity there for Southport.
Southport will be making their first change of the night in a few moments' time. Sam Billington is going to be coming on in a moment. As it's still down, Tyler Denton receiving treatment, and that is not what Scunthorpe United need, losing two full-backs in one night to injury. Denton back up onto his feet. Looks like he maybe took a blow to the hip there in stopping Finlay Heath from shooting towards goal. As I say, Sam Billington about to come on, joins the club from Witton Albion. Given a contract for this season in the summer. Recently was loaned out a couple of months ago, and he will enter the fray shortly. Drop ball, which is given to Ross Fitzsimons. Picks up inside his own penalty area. Bounces it once. Waits for his teammates to leisurely make their way forward before volleying it clear. Tyler Denton is back on and looks okay. Header up in the air by Flowers. Law brings it down inside the Southport half, but Sandgrounders retrieve possession. Hammered clear by Billington. Boyce with the header. Denton's kept it in place, done well there. Smashes it back to the Southport penalty area on the half volley from the touchline. Billington still waiting to come on for the visitors. And currently it's Chris Renshaw, the former Everton youngster, who has it. The Southport goalkeeper boots it away from left of centre, just outside his own penalty area. Coogan, the goal scorer, with the header back towards the halfway line, and again. And then Southport mod it back towards the Scunthorpe United box. Denton hooks the clearance away. It stayed in play. I mean, Flowers has got quite the handful of Elliott's shirt, and I'm not sure how the referees missed that. It's just a throw for Southport.
Yeah, that was a blatant foul. He's pulled his shirt. He's had hold of it for about 3 or 4 seconds.
Fitzsimons hesitated there as there was a header on towards the edge of his own penalty area before deciding to step in and volley it clear. Heath wriggles free of Butterfield inside the centre circle. Back to Jack Doyle, the Southport left back, who sprays it forward down the line but only manages to pick out Kean Scales. Turned around the corner by Roberts on the halfway line to Butterfield. He's managed to get on the second ball away from Morgan. Plays it into Scales, into the box. Elliott goes down, waved away by the referee, and Southport clear. I think that looked like a clean tackle from here, but there were a sea of bodies involved as Denton takes the agricultural approach and finds touch with the clearance.
Yeah, I think he was the wrong side of the defender. Tried to make a tackle. It was a little bit difficult from where we're situated to see, but I think he actually got contact with the ball, so I don't think it was a penalty. But again, a good break and another half an opportunity there.
That clearance from Denton, it felt like it needed a Peter Kay have it afterwards.
Get the oranges on.
Yeah, that was a great rugby kick right in the corner.
Well, both sides making changes at the moment. Jacob Butterfield is coming off, and it's Finlay Shrimpton who is coming on. And Billington is coming on for Mikey O'Neill for the visitors.
Yeah, I think a good substitution there. Just Butterfield looks a little bit leggy with the games. Nice fresh pair of legs on now for the last 10 odd minutes.
Well, Jack Doyle, who I think was involved in that melee regarding the shout for a penalty, picked up an injury. He is limping quite heavily off at the moment. Bennington on for the visitors for O'Neill. Shrimpton replacing Butterfield for the hosts. Doyle is now off the pitch, and it's a Southport throw from behind their own corner flag. Evans hurls it forward. It comes off the chest of Hamami, I think. Or was it Holmes? Sorry, it was Holmes who chested it on. Elliott brings it down for Scunthorpe United. Midway inside the Southport half. Jinx free of a couple of challenges. Still at the feet of Danny Elliott. Shoots straight into the midriff of Renshaw.
Good play by Elliott. Great turn, good feet, and good strike. Quite straightforward for the goalkeeper. But again, nice and positive from Elliott there.
Football Forum on the way after full time in this game. Harvey Elliott's made it 3-0 for England's under-21s. Hull City loanee Tyler Morton providing the assist. Football Forum on the way then with Mike White after full time up until 10 o'clock. Have your sound this one, 08000 665959. If you are watching or listening from home, you can get in touch during the game. 81333 on the text. Start your message with the letters RH. Same goes for WhatsApp, 08000 321 333. And we're on social media at Humberside Sport on X. Coogan digs out the clearance. It'll bounce out of play for a Southport throw. Midway inside their own half. And Doyle, who has continued, will take the throw. It goes down the line, flicked on. Scunthorpe head it away and Clunan completes the clearance. It will drop now to Finlay Shrimpton, who balloons the ball up into the air. Thompson has Connor Smith keeping him close company, but Thompson gets away the clearance well. Drops to Hamami, tries to flick the ball off of Shrimpton. Can Southport keep the ball here in a tight situation? No, they can't. Straight back with the iron. Boyce over the halfway line to Shrimpton, the latest Scunthorpe United substitute, just about gets the ball back to Fitzsimons. That's another classy clearance from him. He hasn't managed to keep it in play, but he's just spiralled it forward with the outside of his right boot. And he's conceded the throw to Southport, who are going to make another change in a moment. Their second of the evening, and it's Keenan Kwanzaa who is going to come on. Thompson to take the throw as Steve Torpey has gone for a moment to use the facilities here at Clanford Park. So I'm riding solo for the next few minutes.
I've got you back. Can't give you the same insight that Torps does. But
Coogan clears away. Southport trying to keep the ball high up the park here. It falls to Heath, who strikes it from 20 yards. That's blocked. Heath with the effort on the half volley from distance. Southport recycle possession. Back to Declan Evans, and from the halfway line he goes all the way back to his goalkeeper Chris Renshaw, with pretty much all of his other teammates inside the Scunthorpe United half. Flowers goes along with the latest ball forward. It drifts past Holmes, drops to Hamami. Denton prods that one clear and then gets onto the second ball. Leathers it off the ankles of Matthew Thompson. Scunthorpe United throw. Just quickly, we've got a message on WhatsApp earlier from an anonymous supporter, which I was hoping there would maybe be a delay to this throw being taken. I will get to it at some point, hopefully. Denton with the throw. Straight back out of play off the head of Flowers. This throw-in will be taken from in front of the dugout as Steve Torpey is back. I'll be asking him how his trip went. Did you have a nice time, Steve?
I knew I should have gone at half-time.
I'm going to touch wood, but as I get towards the my late 40s, I'm often thinking as a commentator that is going to catch me out one of these days. One of these days.
I think it was the tea you bought half-time, Mike. It's gone right through me.
Oh, you see that? Wow. He two-foots you earlier before the game. Comes in on me after I kindly buy him a drink. Wow.
To be fair, I've only had 2 sips of it as well.
What we're saying about age tops.
Exactly.
There is a game still going on in amongst all the toilet chat. It's a Scunthorpe United throw. Denton. Has he managed to switch play? He has. Keenscales just took a moment to watch the trajectory of the ball there before bringing it down. Back to the goal scorer, Maxime Coogan. His 13th appearance for the club tonight, in which he's opened his account for the club. Boyce receives possession from Fitzsimons on the edge of his own penalty area, clears it away, comes off the back of Connor Smith, and that allows him to prod it into Danny Elliott, who just tries to take a heavy touch to manoeuvre the ball away from Flowers. That didn't come off, and Southport just perhaps smashing the ball clear when a cool head is needed, being a goal down. The attendance has just gone up, apparently it's 0 on the screen in the far corner. I'm sure that'll be corrected in a moment once it's properly announced. Throw in is short over on the far side. Long. Elliott brings it down. It's allowed to bounce once and twice in the area. Elliott, can he get onto the loose ball? He does. He just gets a sliding left-footed touch on it. Claims from the Donny Road end that it took a deflection off of Flowers on the way through. Connor Smith's gone over to the left-hand corner flag thinking it's a corner. I'm afraid it's not. It's just a goal kick. 3,035 in attendance tonight, with 72 visiting Southport supporters. Goal kick to the visitors.
He must have been the only man in the stadium, the referee, to think that was a goal kick. It's so blatant. We're 60, 70 yards away. We can see it's come off a Southport defender. But more space opening up now. Obviously, Southport have to go for it, so there's more gaps in between the units, the midfield and the defensive unit. So hopefully Scunthorpe can exploit that.
Yeah, it was just route one there, and Danny Elliott was almost in behind. Southport did well to smother the situation. They're trying to string a few passes together inside their own half at the moment as Morgan takes it over the halfway line into Holmes, turns it around the corner. Hamami spreads it out wide to Billington. His first few touches of the night into Morgan in the penalty area. Right-hand side, digs out across towards the back post. Oh, and the Southport player there just can't make contact with the cross. Scales has gone down in the process in trying to put him off. And in the end, it's just a Scunthorpe United goal kick.
He passed the ball over to the far post. He's all over Scales. That's a free kick for Scunthorpe. Referees, I don't know what he's looking at. That's a blatant free kick. See, luckily it's gone out for a goal kick, but that was a blatant free kick for Scunthorpe.
Things seem to have opened up a bit more in attack for Scunny since Elliott came on as well, Topes. Just his energy, he's making Southport ask questions of themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks a bit more of a physical presence up there. He's linking up play, and he's unlucky with a couple of opportunities as well that he's made for himself. But I think to coincide with the goal, as well as Southport now got to go for it a little bit more attacking minded.
Southport looking for the equaliser. Watson crosses in from deep from the left hand side. Holmes at the glancing header. It was almost brought down at the back post by Heath. He's optimistically claiming there it's a corner kick. He's quite
he's kicked it out.
That is optimistic.
At least Smith had a case when he tried it at this end.
I think he forgot
the
actual
no one
lines.
within 5 yards. Sorry, that's really tickled me. There's no one within 5 yards of him. Nice try from Finlay Heath, but he's not getting the corner kick there.
Did he not know the referee's assistant was behind him either?
Scunthorpe United go long. Danny Elliott is really playing on the last man at the moment when those long balls come forward. Southport in possession. Across defence from Evans to Flowers. Flowers is trying to bring the ball away from Danny Elliott, who's watching him closely from behind. Thompson, put under pressure by Connor Smith, goes back to his goalkeeper Renshaw. And they'll try again to build from the back here. Will Southport. Morgan, back to Evans. Now it's Doyle, down the line over on the far left-hand side to Watson. Morgan again, pushes it into the centre circle for Holmes to collect. He's lost it though and goes down. Smith, Lord driving at the defence into Smith, onto his right foot, shoots towards goal, taken to deflection on the way through. Hooked clear by Flowers, brought down by Clunan outside the box. He strikes it from distance and it bobbles wide of the far post for a Southport goal kick.
Yeah, a good bit of play again from Scunthorpe. Good opportunity. Two opportunities there. Smith with the first one. Good strike and save. And I think it was Klugen who was for the second one. But much better from Scunthorpe. But the game is opened up now. Southport have really got to go for it.
Well, Southport are about to make a change, and I think they will. It's Brad Holmes' number who's gone up, and he went down on the halfway line just as he lost the ball to Jason Law. He's back up onto his feet, and he will now come off with the help of the Southport physio. And it is Keenan Kwanzaa who is coming on. Joined in June last year after leaving Stalybridge Celtic. Came through the youth academy at Accrington Stanley. Kwanzaa is on for Southport with 90 seconds to go of normal time at the end of this game. Scunthorpe United leading by that solitary goal, and it's given away. They could double their lead here. Law has Roberts to play in, right-hand side of the penalty area, onto his left foot, then chops back onto his right, digs out the cross. Smith shoots towards goal first time. That's blocked by the Southport defence, and Billington, has he managed to win the throw? He has. Final touch off of Tyler Denton.
Yeah, that was a dubious throw as well. I think he's 50-50. He's gone for Southport again, the referee. A little bit biased this evening for me. Yeah, Southport have gone from a 4-4-2 to a 4-2-4 now. They're pushing players up the field. So you look desperate for this equaliser.
Denton chests it down in front of the left-hand touchline, volleys it forward. The header is stood up into the air by Evans. Flowers knocks it back to his goalkeeper Renshaw, brings it down left-footed before smashing it clear towards the halfway line. It sails over the top of both Kean Scales and David Morgan, and then Referee's given a foul by Scales on Morgan. Southport free kick inside their own half. Morgan goes along with it towards the left-hand corner flag. It's kept in play. The cross comes in from the left-hand side. 6 minutes of additional time at the end of this second half, and the cross from the left is easily claimed by Ross Fitzsimons.
6 minutes? I'm surprised with that. I didn't think it'd be that much.
The amount of injuries, well, stoppages for injuries that we've had.
Yeah, it's true.
And both sides have made... Well, Scunthorpe have made 2 changes in this second half. One was at the break, of course. Southport making 2 substitutions as well. But Simon's long ball forward. Kwanzaa and Flowers get into a bit of a muddle, but Kwanzaa eventually hooks it clear. Boyce playing it safe by nodding it out of play for a throw on the Southport right. Billington will leave it for Thompson to take the throw. Level with the Scunthorpe United penalty area. Thompson taking his time over this one as Clunan goes down in the box. Play continues. Morgan flicks it back to Thompson. No room to cross at the moment, so circles this way and that to try and find space. Plays it off the ankles of Connor Smith. Wins another throw for his team. Same position as the last one. In it comes. Back to Thompson. First time pass pushes it into Morgan. The ball's one off of him and Smith clears away. Only as far as Flowers, but then Smith is on to the second ball and just hammers it forward aimlessly into space. Elliott hasn't got the speed to catch up with it, and Renshaw, the Southport goalkeeper, clears away. It's brought down by Heath. Plays in Watson, left-hand side the penalty area. In comes the cross. His delivery has not been good enough this evening, Watson. Straight in towards the near post. And it's just easy pickings for Fitzsimons to deal with.
Yeah, there's two Southport players hanging on the far post. If he just got a little bit more height on that, they could have had a good opportunity to score.
Scunthorpe United on the attack now with Scales. In comes the cross. It's missed by the defender Evans at the near post. It will dribble free to Connor Smith, who just lets it roll out for a Scunthorpe United throw. Almost level with the 6-yard area. And Connor Smith will leave it for Tyler Denton to leisurely jog over to collect, to take this throw. Goes into Connor Smith in front of the corner flag. Tries to keep it away from Billington and Thompson. Final touches off of Billington. Scunthorpe United corner kick. 2 minutes of the 6 have been played so far at the end of this second half.
Good play, good game management there. Smith's done really well. Good little turn and ricocheted it off a Southport defender for a corner.
And Danny Elliott will keep it towards that left-hand corner flag. Southport have dug it away from his feet, and I'm not sure I'd necessarily agree with the referee's call on that occasion that it's a Southport throw. I don't think a Scunthorpe player got a touch on that one from what it looks like here. I could well be wrong though. Southport throw. Running out of time to find an equaliser in stoppage time. Finlay Shrimpton brings it down in front of the left-hand touchline. He's hacked down by Niall Watson. Free kick to the iron. And they were the victim of this so often last season, but they are, at the moment, seeing this stoppage time out professionally.
Yeah, Jim Bentley, the manager's getting frustrated, throwing his hands up in the air. I think that's the first decision Scunthorpe have got this half.
Plenty of sponsors tonight. I thought James Moody was going to run out of breath there over the PA system reading them all out, but the sponsors' man of the match is the goal scorer, Maxime Coogan. 2.5 minutes left of additional time to play. Scunthorpe United 1, Southport 0. Maxime Coogan and his first goal for the club. The difference between the two sides here at Glanford Park on this Tuesday night. Throw in for the Iron inside their own half. The view is obstructed at the moment, but Denton goes along with it. The Southport player has nodded it out of play for a second Scunthorpe United throw in succession as they edge themselves further forward down that left-hand flank. It's Denton to take the throw again, 10 yards behind the halfway line. 1-2 between him and Finlay Shrimpton before floating it over the top. Flowers with the header back towards the halfway line. And Scunthorpe United just let it bounce out again for another throw to the home side.
Good play, good game management. Like I said, just sitting the game out, 2 minutes to go. Just delay, work the line. First contact, second contact.
Denton goes long with this throw, and it's brought down really well by Danny Elliott. Matthew Thompson is all over him. He's still all over him. He's pulling the back of his shirt at the moment. Elliott takes it towards the corner flag before driving in the cross. Southport clear away. Denton heads it back to Boyce, who nods it over the halfway line. Morgan with the latest header for the Sandgrounders, only picks out